All right, welcome everybody to today's Solar Consultant Network's Monday Forum. We meet every Monday at a different time, actually, each Monday to make sure that everybody can join together and get some insights from key different leaders in our industry. So today I'm very excited to introduce Panda Solar. Some of you are probably on the Panda squad in here. You might be asking, what exactly is that? Well, I'm going to let Panda dive in a little bit more about that. But basically, Panda is really one of the biggest pioneers and has developed a great system in getting homeowners to say yes. And he has developed amazing phone set skills that today, I hope each and every one of you are really ready to learn and take your knowledge to the next level. So with that, Panda, I'm going to turn the forum over to you.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Amazing. Glad you're here.
Yeah, happy to help. Recognize a lot of you guys. I'm here to help you guys with phone psychology, either if you're setting appointments cold or if you're setting appointments through leads. You all require some type of phone call. So how you start the call will be how you finish the close. A lot of times we struggle on securing the deal or making sure that they sign. And it's not about what we're saying at the kitchen table. It's what we said before the kitchen table to make them feel more comfortable. So I wanted to make this fun. I don't want to just talk for 20 minutes. I wanted to open up to questions. So basically throw some scenarios at me where you felt that you lost a deal or could have done better on a deal. And I can give you some things to say, some things to kind of clear those things up. So let's just kind of work together. We can do live role playing or things, objections that you run into, and how to make sure that you win on top. So whoever wants to start, I'm all ears.
Everybody, you can either feel free to unmute yourself and directly ask the question or raise your hand and I can call on you. So we're good with orderly or non-orderly. Well, let's see, I'm going to pick on people then if people don't jump out. Mike Britton, you just said that you collected a whole bunch of leads. What are you planning on doing with that? And how can Panda help you get ready to, do that? What a lot of reps, and I know myself back in the day, I was always really nervous, So Mike Britton, you want to jump out and ask Panda something?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've got about 50 phone numbers, about 22 addresses. I've already sent out an initial text and email campaign, more or less just introducing, following up on that initial interaction. A fair amount of people were walking by the table, you drag them in, right? So the number only is more or less a signifier to me that I was able to engage with them and at least get that information from them. If they weren't slightly interested, they wouldn't have even given me their phone number. Other ones that actually give me their address, those I consider very, very warm leads because they've gone so far as to actually give up personal information, so much so into where they live. What is the best plan of attack for the customers that I have numbers only on? And should I go just straight to the home with regards to the ones that I have addresses for, considering that I've sent out about 50 emails, I've gotten zero response. Several people I have highlighted as, we have actually looked into solar. I would like an appointment. So I know that conversation is going to go. I know you wanted an appointment, so let's get you on the calendar. I got one, two scheduled already for this week. What is my next plan of attack with having phone number only to convert those people into a responsive lead that would then generate into an appointment set?
Yeah, so you have their phone number, so that's a good thing. The first thing is that you just want to be friendly. So you would just say, hey, Megan, this is James. How have you been? We talked a few days ago at the big event. We were talking about solar. I got some information about you. I wanted to help you look at solar. But what have you guys seen so far? It's just starting up the conversation that that you talked about solar and just coming off confident. Even if it's a cold person, you could use the same thing. People have talked with someone about solar, but they normally don't remember that person. So using the phrase, how have you been, instead of how are you, makes it feel more personal. How are you? You can say that to your worst enemy and they're not going to care that it feels genuine. But how have you been means, oh, I've talked with you in the past. I've done some type of interaction with you. So just how you started the conversation, giving them a reason to start thinking. The brain has one job, and that's to remember. So if you say, hey, not sure if you remember me, their brain is scrambling to figure out, who is this person? Where do I know them from? Are they from basketball? Are they from church? Where are they from? So that gives you 5 more seconds to kind of give value. So I would just base off of what you already done, the hard work. Hey, we were talking at the big event about going solar, wanted to reach out to you to see if you guys have put any thought into going solar. We never want to use the term, do you want to look at an appointment? Do you want to look at a proposal or look at design? Those are big words that show, okay, something is going to really happen that I'm uncomfortable with. So he's asking, have you guys put any thought to going solar? Let them start. Go for it.
Should that next interaction be text message, or should I actually dial? No voicemail, follow up with text. What's that cadence look like?
You should call first. If no answer, then you would send a text. The text would be the same thing. It would just be, hi, Megan, ? Something to get them engaged. If you send them a big, massive text, they're going to usually just block it or just think it's spam and not look at it. You want to get them engaged. So just confirming, okay, this is your name, and then you confirm who you are, and then let you know what you're doing. So it feels like a conversation. If you just dump this big, massive blah on them, they're like, nope, I don't want to deal with this. And my biggest recommendation is always advertise yourself as an individual person. People don't like being contacted by companies. A company calling them feels like you're just a $15 an hour employee. Your job is just to bug them. So if you start off your conversation with, hey, this is James with XYZ Solar Company. How are you today? Click, they're hanging up. They're like, crap, they have my information. They're going to keep on bugging me. You wanted to start off as yourself. Hey, Bill, this is James. How have you been? I talked with you last week about looking at a solar quote, or you fill out a form. Just wanted to see if you put any thought to going solar. So the problem isn't solar, is that they don't want to be harassed by a big company. The best way I can explain this to you is, let's say that you get a random call and it's from the top company in the world. It's Amazon. And he says, hi, my name is Dave with Amazon. How are you today? You're like, what's this about? I didn't order anything. Is this a scam? Just a follow-up call. I see that 6 months ago, you ordered toilet paper from us. And I just want to do a friendly follow-up call to see if you needed any more toilet paper. You're gonna be kind of freaked out and be like, why are they bugging me about toilet paper? This is so stupid. I'm hanging up. Well, let's say that your friend calls you and says, hey man, I'm over at Walmart. They're having a great deal on toilet paper, buy one, get one free. Do you need any extra? Yeah, man, that would be great. Bring some over. Let's watch a game. Let's have some beers. It's the same sensitive subject about toilet paper, but because it's your friend, you're willing to hear them out and you don't feel like they're crossing any type of lines. When it's a company has to play by all these rules. So sometimes, even though we represent a company, we are our own individual person. Most of us are all 1099. We run our own business. Basically, we invoice the company we work for. So we want to market ourselves as ourselves, because anybody can sell the solar system. They're buying it or purchasing it because of us. So we want to always do everything that's just protecting ourselves. They'll be more willing to listen if it's just one-on-one person talking with them, instead of feeling like a big company grab their information somehow and now bothering and harassing them. So that'll make the conversation a lot more pleasant, just how you open the call. No matter what you're selling or how great of a person you are, you only have really 2 seconds to really explain that. So I would just start it off as friendly and advertise it as yourself. Don't start off with the company name. You could go the whole appointment process and not give an appointment name or a company name until you arrive at the appointment or you're talking with them on Zoom. We want to first confirm that they want to look at solar. If they hate solar and they're going to qualify, that's
sriracha, soy sauce, and sweet sour, and teriyaki sauce.
Even though my name is Panda, this isn't Panda Express.
That was great. Yeah. But teriyaki sauce with Panda, that's nice.
Well, Panda, that was an amazing answer to Mike's question. So Mike, are you feeling a little more solid on your action steps now of what you're going to do with all of those leads from the home show?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that personal approach is, I've not tried that. Hey, first name, how are you? It's more or less just following up, wanted to see if we can kind of throw over the mouth too much information too fast. So I like that.
Yeah, it is. You want to get them on the idea of looking at solar. So I tell a homeowner while I'm talking with them, it's like, look, I either want to help you save money off your electric bill by helping you go solar, or if solar isn't for you, let's work together on referrals. I'll give you $1,000 for anybody that goes solar that you recommend. You can pay your electric bill with that. $1,000 will probably cover your electric bill for 6 months. Let's do this 4 or 5 times a month and you're set. I'd rather get referrals out of that person than trying to shove solar down their throat and they don't qualify for it or they just don't want it. It's not for everybody, but everybody loves money. So if you're in the goal of, I just want to be helpful and I want to make money, it's going to cause you not to be so small-sided. 10 referrals is better than one person pissed off.
I kind of feel like there should be a mic drop with that one. That was good. It's like, I'm a little envious because I can't be taking notes right now because I'm monitoring the chat and this, but I will definitely be watching a replay because Panda is full of nuggets. Well, I want to give some other people an opportunity here. So does anybody want to come off mute, run a specific scenario that you run across?
No, Ms. Melissa, I don't have a scenario, but I do want to say thank you, Panda, for that confirmation that you just gave me, because I live in a small town with like 50,000 people, and I'm kind of well known in my community. And so my whole thing about getting into solar, and I live in one of the biggest neighborhoods that they're building, where they built this big 12,000 square foot lagoon where everybody from all over the country moving to now. And so a lot of these solar salesmen are really, really, really pushy, and they're real pushy. And so you gave me a lot of confirmation when you told me, when you were saying, just be their friend, talk to them, get to know them. And so I was selling crawfish in my neighborhood last year. So now that I'm doing solar, everybody in my neighborhood are kind of getting with me now, like, oh yeah, that's the crawfish man. So it's like I've already made a relationship with them, and they know that I'm trustworthy because they've been coming getting crawfish and stuff. And so that's how I've been able to get 2 deals in my neighborhood so far. So thank you for that.
No problem, man. That's really cool. I don't know why there was an echo. I didn't do it.
Okay, anybody who else wants to be brave and jump out on a Zoom and ask Panda either a specific scenario that you've had that you'd love to hear what he would have done in that scenario, or perhaps a question for some future event that's about ready to happen. Maybe that's a phone call you're about ready to make, or maybe you're about ready to do a Zoom presentation.
I got one.
By the way.
Great.
Cool. So, Melissa Panda. So for the most part, I do a lot of my lead generation from groups on Facebook specifically. From that specific situation that you just told us about, it was really great. Would you probably suggest, instead of going more towards, trying to jam information down someone's throat and, be like, hey, this is the company, here's the link, blah, 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 just be more informative, friendly, try to help, that specific group and those members in the group just become a lot more educated. And like you said, just try to, become friendly, engage with them, what's going on, with them specifically, maybe in their lives or, their jobs, etc., in order to kind of build that rapport. And then after that, try to, bump in a little bit of, hey, like, I'm just wondering about that specifically.
Yeah, so you don't sell in a group, so you don't want to set in a group. People can really attack against you. While too many opinions in one area can really be the death of you. So you're going to sell them individually, set them individually. So if you want to make a time to set with them and talk with them individually and see if you can help them on a personal level. If you put an ad out there, put a service for everyone to come attacking, it's just not going to end very well for you. You've probably seen that many times, that you have to please too many personalities. And we don't even know that personality is qualified yet. So why get beat up on solar if they have a credit score of 550? They're trying to find faults in us when they can't even finance a bean pie. It's not to be rude, but if the service isn't available for them, there's really no reason to talk about it. So you want to get them onto an individual level, set up a time to talk with them individually. I wouldn't answer questions as a group. Everybody has a different car, has a different wife, has a different dog. So it can't be put into like group solar. They're doing this individually. When you go purchase a home, you're not there with 10 other people that are buying that home or different homes. It's just that one person. So my best advice would be just to single them out, get them into talking on their own, schedule a time they want to talk with you individually. And that's how I do all of my classes. It's just individually with one person. I don't tend to do things in a group because people get shy, even in the solar community. They are shy to answer questions, just like some here. There'll probably be about 10 people that ask questions today. The rest are going to stay and watch. It's just because they're shy. They don't want to worry about their question sounding dumb or stupid. And they'd rather do that question individually. So I do all of my classes individual, make sure I can help that person out during that time and answer everything they need. So if you're doing something as a group, I would just try to find a way to isolate that one person that wants to do business with you.
Thanks, Panda. I appreciate that, man.
That was great advice. I see that so often in the Facebook world where people are trying to pitch things. Mute out some background noise from some people. Yeah, I see that so much in the Facebook group world where people are trying to pitch the whole group and stuff. So I really think that's great advice, Panda, to be pulling it out of that. And we aren't all in a group set, you know, we do get a little nervous a lot in group settings. Speaking of that, who's brave enough to come out on a Zoom with 53 people and ask a question? Let's see, Judy, I see your hand up. We'll go Judy and then maybe Mitch. You, if it was you, Mitch, that I heard Mitch next. So Judy.
Okay, I'm one of those people that's scared to ask. I live in a rural area of Texas where everybody has acres and gates, and I'm very intimidated. You can't really knock on doors. First, you have to get through the gate and walk on the properties, and I feel like that's just intrusive. I want to know the best way, and I don't even know all my neighbors. We all live pretty far apart. So what would you do to get in touch with your neighbors without having to walk onto their property unannounced, and that sort of thing? I mean, you know, this is Texas. People shoot people.
Yeah. Well, that's what the whole class involves, is teaching you how to call. So basically you can look up any home. I'll show you how to grab their information through mortgage statements, give them a call. People will appreciate a phone call more than a door knock. Most people that have a door are not home. They're off working just like you are.
Right.
You have a better opportunity to talk with them on the phone, be friendly with them. Hey, I'm your neighbor right down the street, talking to you about this. No option of being shot. The worst thing they can do is just hang up on you. So call them or text them. Everyone has a cell phone. So there's a better chance of them responding on the phone. And they can be in your underwear and you can be in your underwear. So they're not having to get ready for your visit to be there. Once you guys have decided that solar is a good fit, then you can decide to walk to their house. They'll probably give you the gate code. They'll invite you in. Now you're an invited guest. So in that situation, I definitely recommend doing the phones. Door knocking is a great tool. I just haven't done it in the last 5 years. I'm just more effective on the phones. I have availability to send a text message. I can be friendly. And that's probably a question that everybody always asks me, is like, why can't we see your face? I know there's a panda here, but why can't we see who you are? Well, the reason behind that is I'm trying to be the symbol of the industry. If I ask everyone to draw the Nike symbol, they can draw it. If I ask them who the CEO of Nike is, you'll probably have to look it up on your phone and find it out. No one just knows the answer. So I'm just trying to be the symbol of the industry. And I teach the same way the homeowners feel. When you're talking to a homeowner in the field, this is what it looks like. They can't see you, you can't see them. So you have to win them over by voice. So I teach everything by voice, help everybody that one. There's 750 members that have all learned and enjoyed using it. So if you ever have questions on how to grab information, happy to help you with the class. I can show you how to grab your neighbor's phone number, call them, scripting, make a good friend with them, meet them in person, or do a Zoom call with them. So that'd be my best answer, is just call them on their cell phone and see if you can be friendly instead of having to go through gates and doors and stuff, and dogs.
Yeah, dogs. So how exactly do I get their name and number?
Yes, I would show that to you on the class. Like I said, no group setting here. I don't want to spend the whole time talking about it, but you can friend me, Panda Solar Appointments, and I can help you out.
All right.
Key nugget from that takeaway, you know, I used to think, of course, because I am from Idaho, I don't want somebody coming to my door because, you know, I was taught that people have guns, but you never know. They might want to be in their underwear and I might want to be in my underwear. So let's let's use the telephone first. Love it. Thank you, Panda. Let's see, Mitch, you have your hand up. You want to come off mute?
Yeah, got a question. Let me turn my video on. So I do a lot of work with a leads gen called Solar Cost Exposed. So we're doing price shopping a lot. After I got an appointment set recently, I get a text from the customer saying, now we already got a set appointment, and he's already saying, hey, can you just send me a ballpark quote, because I think the rest of them I'm getting are way too high. How do you respond to something like that?
First thing I would ask them is, what's a good time that we could chat on the phone? You don't want to do any debating by text or emails, because it puts them in position to just ghost you for 3 hours and think of the best thing to say. So you want to schedule time to get on the phone with them, talk with them. And the first thing you want to explain to them is, even if I was going to give you a quote to cut your grass at your house, you'd want me to come and look at it to give you an accurate quote. If I just give you a ballpark, it shows that I'm one of two things. Either I'm inexperienced, I don't know what I'm doing, or I'm going to overcharge you. I don't want to be labeled as either one. My reputation is more important than your satisfaction. So I want to make sure that I give you an accurate quote. So if you're open to chatting for 2 hours and seeing if solar makes sense, happy to help you. This is going to affect you for the next 25 years. This isn't something to be rushed into. I'm going to be here as long as the sun is coming out to help you with solar. So if you're open to looking at this educated, I'll show it to you. If not, just let me know when you're ready. Go with one of the other quotes. Just be confident enough that you don't need their business to keep on surviving. There's a million of them, there's one of you. So if it's not going to work for them, we go find another person. But if no one else is willing to talk to them as an adult and show them what's up, we're the only person that's going to help them out. So sometimes just having the confidence, willing to walk away, it's going to get them to jump, say, whoa, he's not desperate for my business. I need to learn from him.
Thank you.
Fabulous. I think so often people in the industry, we just all feel like once we finally get that one human on the phone, like, yes, this is the one. But we forget, how many homes there are that still don't have solar, so it's a numbers game. Just move on, and we aren't desperate, right? So thank you, Panda. Let's see, Doc, do you still have your hand raised, or is this from earlier?
No, I still have my hand raised.
Perfect.
And so I just sat down with a homeowner, I think it was Friday, and they reached out to me yesterday, and they told me that they were advised to get at least 3 quotes, and that they already got 1 quote, but the quote that I gave them is the quote that's on the table right now, and they're going to be doing a Zoom with another solar company this Thursday. Should I just hang back and chill, or should I reach out to them and just kind of encourage them to, is it anything that you saw in my quote that didn't make you want to go for it, or just hang back?
Yeah, you definitely want to talk with them and see what they're looking for. And I would just be kind of frank with them and tell them, usually when someone wants to see multiple quotes, they're looking for a reason not to do solar. So kind of remove everybody else and just ask them, do you feel that solar is going to help you? Do you feel that this money each month is going to be a savings for you? What would you see yourself doing with this extra money? And to see what their actual hangup is. If you can tell them, I do have multiple companies or install companies that I can work with, or different finance options. What in this option would want you to look at another quote? The fact that they're even talking to you about it means that they respect you. If they didn't care, they would just block your number and go with the other quote. They're giving you an opportunity. So you want to find out what their actual hangup is and be willing to walk away from the deal. Tell them, if you need some time to think about it, I need to stay busy this summer. Here's a piece of paper labeled 1 through 10. Let's help 10 of your family members go solar that have a higher electric bill than you do. Put some money in their hand to see that they can trust you. You get to work with 10 new people, and then they can have all the time in the world thinking about it. Sometimes people want to pressure them into a decision because they want money, but we could still get money with their recommendation. So if you ask them, if I was the only company giving you a quote, would you sign? Would you be comfortable with solar as a whole? If they say yes, I said, okay, well, I want to do something that another company won't do. I want to give you as much time in the world to think about this because I'm going to be here. My goal is to stay busy. Can I help 10 of your friends go solar and pay you $1,000 each one that goes? If they're willing to write down names, means that they trust you. It's just they're trying to figure out solar for their own circumstance. So it's not that they have a problem with you, they're looking at solar as a whole. If you show them that you help 2 or 3 of their friends, you pay them out for that, and now they're excited, like, okay, no other company did this with me, I want to do business with them. So kind of showing them you're in it for the long haul. You're not just worried about one sale. Because if you get one sale, let's say it pays you out $4,000 and you get nothing the rest of the month, you're basically making pretty close to minimum wage off that one deal. Your goal needs to have a deal in the pipeline every single day. If you can just help one person a day, you're looking at 7 sales a week, 30 sales a month, 300 a year, just from focusing on one person that needs your help. So if you show that to a customer and their business mind, they're like, oh, I like this guy. He's not pressuring me. He'd rather talk with more people than just bother me. The other companies would be like, sign now, I'll take off money. So I would just try to build that relationship to see what their actual hangup is, what's preventing them. Maybe they're trying to refinance their home. Maybe they're trying to get a new loan or get a new car, that they're just worried about this commitment. If they're happy enough to talk with you about that problem, take advantage of that and help them out.
Thank you.
That was fabulous. I'm having people, all sorts of people are texting me, telling me how great this is. So Panda, because they're texting me and it's not in the chat bar, I want you to know people are absolutely loving this. You're being a wealth of knowledge. I do want to make sure that we stay honoring everybody's time. So I'll open it up for one more either question or scenario that the group would like to ask from Panda.
You guys want to ask more questions, I can be here all day, happy to help. My goal is to help as many reps as possible and just kind of just taking it back to basics. Sometimes we're worried so much about red lines or worried about making the commission that if we can just be human, we can have more sales. Usually the people that are the less sales, we make the most amount of sales. We should be focusing on customer service and then we get paid in the form of a sale. So I just try to make things simple, help everyone out. The reason why we all came into solar, when we first came in, we probably like at first 4 or 5 deals, like, wow, this is simple, this is easy, this is awesome. But once we learned all the ins and outs of solar, we're like, okay, I have an ego, I'm cocky, I'm going to get this done. So if we could just stay newbies the whole time, just helping people, those customers are going to like the newbies more than the puffed up ones.
Yes, I love that. Let's see, Eric, if you want to go ahead and unmute and ask your question.
Yeah, so mine isn't any particular objection in general. It's just everyone I've talked to and called. It's just them not wanting to, commit to an appointment, whether it's Zoom or in person. It's always they find a way out of when I ask them, have they thought about going, so have they given any thought into solar? They say no. And, before hanging up, I don't just hang up my cape. I just try to get them. Okay, cool. So there's no commitment, no obligation. I just want to talk to you guys about a no cost consultation to see if solar is a good fit for you guys. When would be a good time to give you a call back or get on Zoom or pay you guys an in-home visit? And they usually find one way or another to kind of just get out of it, I guess, because I haven't been able to get a single appointment lined up for myself.
Yeah. And you just want to remove those words of no obligation, no commitment, because they are making a commitment. They're making a commitment for 25 years. So sometimes when we make solar sound too easy, people throw up a lot of red flags. So when I'm setting the appointment to make sure that it's solid, what I'll say is, my job is to help you to get solar installed on the roof. The first step is to see if solar makes sense for you guys financially. I can help you with a side-by-side comparison of your current electric bill compared to what solar is going to cost you over the next 25 years. After that's complete, I'll make sure that I get you approved for financing, you have the correct system size, the correct system warranty, and make sure you have everything you need to go, solar permits, all that type of stuff. What is a good time that we can chat for a couple hours so I can help you get your paperwork started? Customers will really appreciate the honesty of what you're there to do, because that's how every other industry works. If I call a realtor right now and say, hey, I'm interested in your house on Rose Lane, her first question is going to be, oh, when were you looking to purchase? Oh, I'm thinking like July of next year. There's going to be an awkward pause and she's going to say, oh, well, give me a call around June, July of next year. I'll see what's on the market. She's not going to even bother showing you the house because you're a year out. That home is probably going to be sold 2 or 3 times before you're even ready. So this shows the customer that you mean business, that you want to help them right now. Every other business is a right now business. You go into Walmart to buy a calculator. You can't say, hey, can you hold this for me? I'll come back in a few months for it. And they're like, hey, if it's on the shelf, come back and get it. They're not going to really mess with you. Same thing with the auto mechanic. You go show them, hey, I need my alternator change, but I don't want to do it for 6 months. Okay, come back in 6 months. They're not going to even entertain you. So the main thing is we need to see if this customer is even ready. If they're a shopper, or they're just a looky-loo, let them be a looky-loo on someone else's time. Move on to the next one. And the customers that are serious, they'll appreciate you being upfront and honest with them, because every other solar company says, oh, it just takes 10 minutes. It's so super easy. Everyone qualifies. The government's paying for your system, when all that is not true. So if you can kind of take all the BS out of it and see if they're interested, you'll have a better turnaround ratio. And then you're not going to wasted appointments, because appointments are only good if they lead to sales. So if you go on 10 appointments and they all weren't prepared, when you talk with the mom instead of the homeowner, or the kid or the sister or the brother, okay, you went on 10 appointments. You would have been better just hanging out with your family and going on vacation instead of wasting time with those 10 homeowners. So you want to protect your time first. If you're impressed, then they're going to be impressed. So you want to set some qualifications of what makes an appointment. I don't put an appointment on the board until I have received electric bill and that they committed 2 hours. It's not that we're going to take 2 hours of their time, but if they're relaxed enough to book 2 hours, then their kids are put away, we can ask questions and walk away with contracts being signed. When you want to purchase a car, you're usually there to purchase a car that day, not months down the road. It's that you want something right then and there. Something sparked and said, okay, I need to get this done. So that's how our meetings have to be. So if we respect our time, they're going to respect their times first. So I would just say, give them more information of what you want to help them do. All you want to help them do is install solar. They can learn about solar from YouTube or Google. That's not your job. Your job is to get the account set up, make sure they have the right finance terms, and make sure that they're confirmed on everything that's going on. So I would just give them more information of what you're doing and have that confidence, instead of just trying to make it as a quick, let me just go there real quick, or make an appointment, or just talk with you for a few minutes, because we can't sign a contract in a few minutes. It's going to be like 45 minutes to an hour at best. So if you give yourself that 2 hour time window, they're less stressed out. It's the same reason that cable companies, they book in a time window. We'll be there between 12 and 4. It's not that it's going to take 4 hours, it's that so you are not leaving the house and they're not waiting on that person. So they show up 20 minutes late, you are in that window and they get you done. So it's just to make sure the person is more relaxed and knows what they're getting themselves into. And 2 hours isn't a lot of time. The people that come and water their grass and clean their pool, they could be there for 4 or 5 hours a day, just doing that simple task. So telling a homeowner, I can help you save $70,000 in 15 minutes, their BS indicator is going to go out the roof. So we give them an actual time frame. This makes them more comfortable with us and say, okay, they know what they're talking about. They're not trying to BS me. Let me hear them out. Let me book 2 hours and actually sit down and actually look at this educated.
Thank you so much for that. All right. So let's see this. We've got one last one that's in the chat here, Panda. It's from Abram and it says, any advice for call reluctance? Some days I have a hard time picking up the phone.
Yeah, you want to just make your goals daily. Sometimes we can overwhelm ourselves looking at the week as a whole. If we say, man, I want to set 15 appointments this week, and I know out of 15 appointments, I can get 5 to sale. Your brain has just convinced itself that you could make 15 dumb appointments and 5 of them are going to come out of nowhere and sell. So what you want to convince your brain of is, I just need to find one person that wants to go solar. So let me jump on the phone and see if I can just get one. There's times that I'll do 2 or 3 calls and boom, I have an appointment. And then you have the option of either quitting or keep on going, reset and find another one. You're going to always need another deal. What we have to remind ourselves, no matter how much money we're making in this industry, we all live paycheck to paycheck, because if one of those paychecks are taken away from us, it's going to throw off everything. Even the biggest company, Amazon, if they closed their doors for 6 days straight, didn't pay their employees, didn't pay stockholders, didn't respond to customers, the whole company would fail just from 6 days of non-activity. And they have a millions of dollars in the bank. So for us that don't have that, we just need to be dedicated to it each day. Sure. So we just want to make our lives easier. So that's why I teach everyone to do the phones. You could do it for 2 to 3 hours a day and make 2 or 3 appointments, a solid appointment each hour, and you're not stressing yourself out with it. Sometimes when you're like, oh, I want to do this for 20 hours straight, you're like, screw this, I don't want to do it. So it's just maximizing the amount of time. So 15 to 20 hours a week of just dialing and setting appointments can get it done. Before I even started doing this class, I was setting appointments and getting that done. I was just working 15, 20 hours a week, just on my own. I made the class just to be able to help others, so they're not having to dump money onto leads. They don't have to be door knocking. So if you're in home just in AC, you've removed a lot of hard factors. There's no extreme heat. You're not walking. You're not worried about gas. Put on your favorite music, get a snack, get a comfy chair, go in your underwear, whatever you have to do, and just think, okay, I just need to find one. Once you get that one, you're just keeping on going. So removing all those hard factors and then not having the stress of where your deals are coming from and knowing that you're needed more than that person is needed will really just help you say, okay, I'm just gonna make this small. So if you do that consistently, if you had 2 or 3 appointments at a day, you're looking at between 12 and 15 appointments a week. Even if your closing ratio is only 50%, you're gonna close 6 or 7 deals just from working 15 hours a week. So I would just break your goals down to daily and just focus on that instead of a big lump sum that stresses you out.
That's great advice. I will add one thing to that some of us have found successful is the phone right here. So put a picture of what you want, and get an accountability partner. So for me, I had my dream property that I'm now living in. So I wanted that property. Well, I put that property on my phone. So I knew I had to pick up that phone and make another call. Did I hate calling 45 people in one day? Yes. But do I love my view right now? Yes. So what do you want? If you're reluctant, what are you going to spend with your money? Are you going to send your kid to camp? Are you going to go to Disneyland? What are you going to do? Put that picture there so it's a reminder. And then maybe also tell your friends, significant other, tell somebody, it's the same thing as my Peloton workout partner with my friends. I'm like, hey, I want to work out every day because we're all accountable for each other. And like when I was having to make all those phone calls every day to get appointments to sell solar, I had my husband as my accountability partner because I told him that I wanted to buy this property. So I didn't want to let him down at the end of the day by saying I just didn't have enough in me to pick up that phone to find one more yes.
Yeah, that's really good advice. And that's why I try to help out as many people as I can. The class is really affordable. It's only $200 to learn everything. It's not that I need the $200, it's just to make sure that someone feels that they're getting value. If I give it for free, they won't show up. It'll just sit in your email. You won't use it. When it's a small dollar amount, you're like, okay, I got to figure this out how to do it. So Panda Squad has been built with zero money being thrown into marketing. It's just people say word of mouth. Hey, go here. He's helped out. He's really cool to work with. So if anybody needs help or needs an accountability partner, there's 750 people over here that are using it. It's just a new tool to get things done and get on the board and stay inside. Some crazy heat out there, a lot of heat stroke and people dying of thirst out there. Just stay inside. And if you're doing it all virtually anyways, it makes sense. Call them virtually and then meet with them virtually.
That's fabulous. Panda, can you please put in the chat bar how they can join your Panda Squad? So I have so many people every day that are like, where can I buy leads? Where can I buy leads? Leads aren't going to do shit for you if you don't have the conversation right. So don't waste your money buying leads until you have this conversation, this psychology down, and that's why we ask Panda to come on here. So so now you've gotten a little bit of a taste of what Panda can do. So if you want to take advantage of his training, Panda, did you pop that in the chat bar? I didn't see that yet.
It's just Panda Solar Appointments. They just friend me on Facebook and message me. I do everything individual. I don't have like a chat bot or anything. So I'll just put Panda Solar Appointments in the chat. 1 second.
Okay, so Panda's putting that in there, and then I will read off one more question here, and then I do need to stop the recording because I have a sale to a homeowner to educate about solar coming up here, so I need the Zoom for that. But Jesse's question is, I've put roughly 15 hours in on the phones, not including looking up the address, phone numbers, talked to 60 people plus 200 no answers, and have not come even close to setting up an appointment. Any advice on breaking through the not interested wall?
You just wanted to go by tone of voice. So if there is like, hey, I'm just really not interested, you can say, okay, no problem. Have you looked at a bunch of quotes already? What have you seen? You want to figure out why they're not interested in solar. Are they a renter? Do they have bad credit? Or are they thinking about moving? And then being always willing to give them up for just referrals and say, okay, I totally understand. Solar is not for everybody, but if you have any friends or family that have a crazy electric bill, would you be open to working together? I offer $1,000 for anybody that goes solar because of your recommendation. I'm always looking to help other homeowners. Once they see that you're more concerned about business, they're going to kind of break the ice like, well, Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, do you think solar would work for me? I only spend about 120 bucks a month. That's why my kind of my holdup is. So if you can be personal with them and just kind of figure out what's going on, it'll lead to it. And then also how you open the call. You never want to open the call asking permissions to talk. You never want to say, can I speak with David, please? You're just going to say, hi, David. You're going to say it in a question tone enough for him to say, yeah, this is David. This is James. How have you been? You have to have that tonality. So if you're using an auto dialer, the auto dialer takes that away from you. The auto dialer has a lag in it. They said hello 6 or 7 times before you even hear their first hello. And they automatically know that you're just a salesperson. They say, hello, hello, hello. And you're like, hi. They're like, okay, this is a robot. This is one that's selling me something. How are you today? They're going to automatically click. And if you're using a company name, don't use that company name. Technically, you are not part of that company. The janitor has more of a stock hold in that company than you do, because you are just a 1099 rep. So if you're starting off your conversation with, this is Bill from XYZ Solar, how are you today? They're going to hang up and say, I'm out of here. They don't want to be contacted by XYZ Solar, but they don't mind talking with Bill. So know that Bill has talked with other solar people before. So when you say, hey, how have you been? Not sure if you remember me. We've been collecting energy statements in your area, just checking back, seeing if you guys put any thought to go in solar. They're going to think of the last person that knocked on their door, the last person that sent them a flyer. Like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember. If they have a good review or a positive outlook at that, start asking them questions. But like, nope, don't want to do solar. It sucks. Okay, cool. Have a great day. Don't waste your effort on someone that doesn't like the product as a whole. Not everybody drives a Porsche, but everybody is interested in driving. So to see your service as the Porsche or the Lamborghini, not everybody can qualify for your service. And ones that can't, they just want to hate on it. Oh, that's a dumb car. It's really expensive. I like my truck better. It's because you can't afford it. So just know, be confident with the product that you have. So just how you start out that conversation and just being willing to leave them for 20 other customers, I think it'll give you a lot more outlook.
That was fabulous. All right, what a perfect way to end that. And thank you again. This is a perfect example of really what the Solar Consultant Network is about, you know, us uniting as an industry to share insight, to accelerate the adoption of solar worldwide. I encourage all of you, you know, you're all members of our group. If you're not yet of Panda's Facebook, join that. The more knowledge we can get out there, the better. Also in the Solar Consultant Network, you know, if you have a question like what we talked about today, please post it in there. You know, Panda's in there, Andy, I see lots of great leaders in the solar industry, Shelly, that are on the Zoom right now that are also members of the Solar Consultant Network Facebook group. We're here to help answer your questions and help you achieve success in solar. So thank you again, Panda.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.